being a DJ is not just about choosing the right tracks, or let's say choosing the good tracks, and it's not only about being good technical DJ. It's everything combined. You know, you have to choose like good records. Then it depends when are you playing, how do you mix those tracks. For example, sometimes like just a boring track, you know, that you listen it on YouTube for 7 minutes can be a deadly weapon in your DJ set. You know, if you can choose the part of the track that is interesting, and maybe you can play it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes and it works perfectly. But when you listen it for 7 minutes, it's just boring, you know, nothing happens. So a DJ job is to choose the proper tools, the proper tracks, and mix them at the right time. And then there's like this energy of tracks, how they go together, which key they are. There's so many things that are important in mix. I should have a drawing board behind me so I could actually visualize you. No, I could, because I studied it. You know, it's like I studied the whole mix, and I would draw you a perfect mix, and then I would play it to you so you could hear my philosophy behind the mix. But yeah, it matters. Good tracks, the moment, what's the time in the night, where behind who you're playing, quality of tracks, the transition, the mixes. These are all these small details that are making DJs good or bad. And so yeah, guys, the young guys, don't be fooled by if you're gonna play good tracks that means that you're a good DJ. It's not. There's so much more to it. Club scene changed completely. Back in the days, I remember, you know, wherever you went, like the club had especially in let's say Balkan areas, they had like really old decks, so they were not working properly. Mixer was always was something wrong with mixer. Monitors were really bad, speakers were really bad, everything was super bad. And the clubs were like 80s, everything in the mirrors. And right now it's all about high tech. You know, the sound is amazing, booths are amazing, clubs are amazing, sound is amazing, everything is perfect, the service is great. So I don't know, it's changed completely, you know. And I have all these guys complaining like, wow, how good it was back then. And I always remind them, listen, you know, there are people going to the parties for the first time, and they have exactly the same attitude, and they feel it, and they hear this beat for the first time, and it's so exciting for them as it was back then. And they're trying to like persuade me, no, it was much better then. And I tell them, no, really, it's the same. I mean, it's different, but it's the same. You know, the main feeling, having fun, being free, enjoying, you know, the night, and endless possibilities, you know, just come up, and that feeling didn't really change much. I see myself as an artist, but then again, there are times that I see myself as a craftsman. As I change my style, or I want to do something completely different, maybe not to other producers, but completely different to what I do. It comes these painful moments that lasts for a month, a year, 2 or 3 years, when you change your sound, and then you are a proper artist. When you're discovering, you're suffering to do like this track that would sound different than tracks before, and you're just researching and trying. And I'm doing this for 20 years, and still comes this period where I don't know how to handle this situation, and I'm struggling and like really suffering. And then I'm an artist, you know. And then at the time when you find a formula where the bass drum is working, and you have this proper bass drum that works everywhere, hi-hats, and you just, you know, changing the patterns and stuff, and then I think you become a craftsman, you know. And it's so I see myself like I'm an artist for a certain period of time, and then I'm a craftsman. And when everything turns into, let's say into business, because you found a formula, you know, why wouldn't you exploit it? And it works, and people want to hear this sound. And then again, you change and you become an artist again, and you suffer. And this comes and goes in waves, and then I realized this shit is gonna be with me all my life. It's gonna suffering and enjoying, and suffering and enjoying. And I just guess that's just the way how I am. Yeah, luckily I almost never have any creativity blackouts. It happens, but like really on short period. For me, it works. If I work in the studio, creativity is just there, and then maybe I'm traveling and I'm away for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and I don't go in the studio. Then creativity kind of I have like a step back. It's like I have to go in the studio for 1 day, 2, 3 days, that I get a knowledge of an environment again, you know, and then it's not a problem for me. I just work, and it's funny when I hear that like this, I don't know, DJ or producer or whatever, he's explaining, yeah, I'm gonna go in the studio and now I'm working on an album and I'm working on a new track. It's like, man, what are you doing? I'm doing this every day, you know. Whenever I'm in Ljubljana, I go in the studio, you know, at least for an hour, 2, 3, to see what's going on. It's what I do. It's my life, you know. For me, it's a common thing. And then, yeah, I made this album, and then for 5 years they don't go in the studio. This is something I cannot comprehend, you know. It's again, I'm not trying to judge, even though maybe it sounds so, but it's just how I am. Studio, it's something. Making music is something really natural for me, you know. I couldn't live without it, you know, and I love it. Yeah, I have a vision of what music might become, and I don't think really it's interesting and bright, you know. In these days, with technology that I have, it's just a matter of time when a proper AI for music will be invented, and like, let's not fool ourselves, you know. Being a DJ is going to be probably really cool for another 20 years, maybe top, you know. And something that I'm doing right now, like every single computer will be capable of. So basically, they will be able to able to check out all the, let's say, UMEK tapes, and then they're gonna do an algorithm which is gonna be more UMEK than I am, you know. Maybe like for example, imagine like the styles that I play in 2001. It's long gone, but people are still craving for that sound. So they will be able to go back, and algorithms gonna analyze tracks that I did or mixes that I did, and they're just gonna recreate that feeling. So I think this is the future. At the same time, I hope I'm wrong, that people will kind of want to have this real experience, you know, hearing DJs still live in a club, you know. And but I think on the end it's going to be mixed between these two, you know. Imagine having an algorithm where you could, you know, tweak the parameters of a certain DJ, and you could listen to this stuff at home. I think it would be pretty interesting, you know. Yeah, I played for the first time today on a Denon setup, and I must say that I'm actually quite surprised. Even though I'm always looking into the future, and we are used to certain standards, but yeah, I was really surprised today of what those players can do. Especially the time stretch is amazing. Then the skip and roll options are amazing. And a few other things. It's just what pops into my head right now. So yeah, keep on the good work.